And we are live. Jered Cordova in the mud drywall. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good.
Yeah,
Doing
good.
real good. Hell yeah. It's been a hell
Yeah,
of a week.
yeah. Tell me about this. You've got a new GC. Is that what you were saying?
I was working with some builder and it was a bunch of surprises to say the least.
Hmm.
I took it on because it was through the Sherwin-Williams rep, and I was like, oh,
Oh, okay.
maybe I'll try this guy out and see what's up. So I tried it out, man. It started off, it was supposed to be 108 sheets for a tiny house, man. I told him, all right, well, I got you hanging it all in tape and float for 2 weeks. Well, the guy didn't tell me that there was all vaulted ceilings and just about every single closet was vaulted. And there was vaults going into rounded corner bead everywhere. So when it took 3 weeks, yesterday he blew a fuse on me.
Oh, for sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
but
It was,
that's it's. I'm
it ended up,
shocked. I'm
it
shocked.
ended
Some.
up,
Sorry.
oh,
Go ahead.
sorry.
Go ahead.
No,
Go. Go.
it ended up 133 sheets.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, so that's where it's like, how did he blow a fuse on the time, man? Come on,
Yeah.
like be understanding a little bit. It was just, nah. That's what one thing I was noticing. Honestly, that's a good topic. Is the respect that other trades have, because I come from another trade, so the respect that other trades have towards finishers and drywallers is it's pretty shitty, you know.
Yeah. What were you before? Welder.
Yeah, I was a metal fabricator,
That's
and
what I thought.
I was in the army before that, so did a little bit of did a little bit of everything here and there. And man, I landed my way here. I got to the Carpenters Union in Los Angeles in like 2017. I left like my welding shop because they were doing the Disneyland at Star Wars at Disneyland.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so we did. I got with the company that was doing the marketplace in that area. So I got to do my apprenticeship doing the metal stud framing and drywall. And then that's how I learned to hang. And then we went on, finished that one up. We went to Universal Studios in Hollywood and did the Jurassic Park ride as well. So we did all the metal stud framing and drywall. So when I moved out here to Texas, man, the pay was just they couldn't they
Probably
couldn't keep,
trash. Yeah.
yeah, they couldn't keep up to what I was used to, man.
Yeah.
And I was coming out here with, I mean, I know a little bit of everything, so I was like, man, let's just give it a try, dude. Let's see how it goes. So ever since I got here in 2019, man, I've been trying to do this thing, and just this past year, it's been like actually proving itself. You know what I mean? Like it's took a lot of the hard like kick downs, you know what I mean? But
Yeah. Yeah, though that when that hard work starts to pay off, there's no better feeling than that.
no.
Where you're just like been grinding and grinding and grinding and it seems to be going nowhere and then overnight like a light switches and you're like, "Oh, okay. We're
Yeah.
we've fucking done something here."
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's we're working on that like you were saying about the drywallers because finishers are a very different animal than hangers. Like if you're hanging in fast, there's like an acceptable amount of issues that's okay as long as you're in and out of there in a day or 2 days or whatever. Finishers, everything has to be perfect,
Yeah.
period. And they still want you out of there in 4 days, right? So
Yeah.
you kind of you find the guys that take the path that want to do everything quickly, and then you find the guys that take the path of I'm going to charge quite a bit more and do it in twice the time. And you kind of need to find the clientele to be the latter.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
I'm telling you that the quality out here is very scarce. There's lots of finishers, but the like top tier quality stuff, that's why there's a half a dozen people on Instagram killing it, and the
Yeah.
rest of them, they're not really showing a lot of their finished work. Running the boxes for sure, but what does it look like at the end? And it's
Yeah.
that quality, and it's hard to do that because when somebody wants you in and out of 10,000 board feet in 5 days, there's no fucking time to be
No.
doing any of that shit. So
I'm
yeah,
a,
I
I'm
look
a,
at I look at guys like Brad and Phil and guys like that have just been running forever. Cam and Josh, those guys, it's crazy. I'd love to be on one of their sites and see what happens.
oh yeah, me too, bro. I've always wondered, like, man, what would my profit margins be if I were to learn what these other guys are doing? Like it'd be crazy. But I'm a hand finisher still. So
I was gonna ask you about that. It looks like you're hand finishing.
yeah, I hand finish everything right now. So I got like a year as a legal business.
Okay,
I got my LLC in 2000 June June 2022. So I'm almost about a year now, and
perfect.
I've had my growing pains, man. I had me kicked
Ooh,
down. Right now, I think after this GC did this stuff, he gave me this horrible week, man. I was staying there until 11 o'clock at night the past 4 days, and he would call me at 8 in the morning, and he's like, "Where are you?" And it's an hour away still. I'm like,
yeah,
"Man, I left. You know what time I left last night? Let me get some sleep. I will be there very soon,
yeah.
and we'll do it all over again." So today I actually get contacted back from one of the GCs that've been asking me to do some work. I got it's called Longhorn Steakhouse.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
They want us to do tear down all the wallpaper, level 5, sand all the trim and restain
Perfect.
in the restrooms to test us out. So if we get that right, then we get all 6 stores in San Antonio.
That would be brilliant to do like the whole facelift or all the bathrooms or
The entire store after that.
yeah, that would be a big one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that'd be beautiful, bro.
no shit.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, see, so tell them about Fresco Harmony, and then you don't have to take the wallpaper down. You just fucking skim right over it.
oh shit, I should, man.
Hey, man, I would. That's
I've
smart.
been looking into that. How do you get that effect of the finish? You know what I mean? Or is it textured to do
So,
it?
like the one behind me,
Yeah.
so when I do it, I leave real high ridges. Like I'll leave like almost like what a lap mark would be, or like you're leaving a lot of peaks and a lot of like depth on the wall. And then when you come with that second color, you really are skimming it tight. So it's just kind of giving you a hue of where the deep spots are and where the high spots are.
Yeah.
And that's how I wanted to leave this because it kind of had this like bone, like a gray with black veining in it. And I really liked it. And then in the top corner there, I put a little bit of black, and Foz was here with me, and he's like, you gotta do that for the whole wall, man. And then I started doing these swipes and then kind of like pulling away, and it just fucking took shape.
That's cool.
Yeah, man, but it really is a super simple system. Like if you just left heavy marks, like lots of contouring with a darker base color, and then just came and skimmed the top of it with a lighter color all day long, that would look good. Because
Damn. Pretty good for this with the skimming blades and
well, yeah, like I'm using a like an offset knife like this.
okay.
You would just want to make sure it's got a radius on it. You don't want any sharp corners because that when you kind of like do a swoop, it digs into it instead of with the radius knives, they kind of tend to skim over it. My 7-inch tomahawk I use for the majority of it, if I'm being honest with you. Like any real flexible blade, I think works pretty good. Um,
All right.
no, I see a lot of guys with trowels, and that works really well, but I just haven't gotten there yet.
Yeah, I have somewhat of a tomahawk, but it's the tape tech version.
Oh yeah, like a skimming
Yeah.
blade. It's it
Yeah,
as
it's a
long
regular skimming blade. But I use
as
that a lot on a lot of my stuffs just to try and get it, since I am hand finishing, even some
mhm,
of my joints, man, I try and use that at the end just to try and flare out wherever I don't have to sand.
totally. Did What size of blade is it? Like a 32 or a 48?
I have a 32, a 48, I have a 14 and a 7 as well.
Yeah, okay. Like the whole set.
Yeah,
Those 48s, man, it's hard to fuck that up.
it definitely is.
You know what I mean? Just kind of a nice light swipe and then you're off to the races. And what I was finding when I was doing a lot of when they sent me that kit, I didn't touch any other tools that month. I just used the Tomahawks. You know, obviously I did the taper, but I mean, other than that, for my flats and butts, and it was great. You just cake it on, and then you sand it off, like skim it off, and with that 32, it's perfect, man. I really found that it was perfect. It's just so uniform when you're skimming things off with it. So I've got an 18. I think the Columbias go 12, 18, and then um 24. No, I think it goes right to 7, 12, 18, right to 32. Yeah.
Yeah,
But still, it's I really enjoyed them. It's they've got their place in the kits anyways. The more and more I get from Columbia and the more and more I use them, you kind of see what specific places everything's for, like why the whole set exists, you know?
exactly.
Hmm. What's stopping you from getting into the compound tubes or something like that?
Um, that's coming.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, that's actually what we're working into. We want to get a full taping set because my guys have all been familiarized with all of that stuff already. They've been doing
Hmm.
it for years. I'm the only one that's only hand taped. So I would like to learn those tools too because one of my boys brought them in one day and I was just like, geez, man. I'm sitting here on the stilts trying to freaking tape everything still, and he's already almost done.
Yeah.
It was hard.
Yeah, well, like even just the tubes for your corners, like the tube and the flushers, to be able to do all of your corners both at the same time, and you do a room in 4 minutes.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And like especially your second and third coats, you just fly through it. Like you don't need a throttle box. It's just getting into a tube setup. It's
that'll change
quadru
everything.
just quadruples your time, right? It's even bedding the tapes with the roller and the flusher, it really does speed it up. The whole set, like the bigger stuff, the mechanical stuff, boxes and angle heads and the auto taper, that takes quite a bit of I don't even want to say quite a bit of time, but it does take some getting used to. That
Yeah,
tube set, anybody can pick that up and run it. Oh yeah, that's real simple stuff. Um, you know, a couple of times. It's mud consistency is mostly what the problem is. But yeah, I would absolutely tell you to do that if you haven't gotten on that yet.
yeah. I think we'll probably look into that one, honestly, because that would save me tons of time, man. That's
Oh
where I
yeah.
lost so much time this past week. Is
Yeah.
just getting those inside corners mudded was just it took too much time. And I couldn't even explain how much, man. But uh it's
They
something I'm learning through, you know?
yeah. Yeah, and there is a certain amount that you need to get kicked in the nuts your first year anyways. Just
Yeah.
get it all out of the way quickly. Um I I was almost stubborn that first year of like I'm going to take everything I can and I'm going to do the best that I can, and like some of them were just shitbag disasters and I did it on, you know what I mean? I took it anyways, and it totally just it was, they were the worst. But you know you learn from things like that. So when you walk into the next house and see something that looks like that, you go, no, that's not, you know, we're either not doing it or that's going to be an extra, or you know, you learn from that stuff.
I'm definitely learning my lesson this year. Uh, this past week was a big life lesson in this industry. I was like, man, I need to be a lot more cautious as to, like you said, take who I take on and
Yep.
value myself too, you know, because I mean, a lot of people think like our job is just, like you said, so easy, get in, get out. And a lot of stuff has plays factors in the weather, everything. Here in Texas, it'll be like 80 degrees one day and 40, 50 degrees the next day. And it's like, come on, man. The mud dries differently in both climates. So yeah, everything plays a factor in all of that. But for the most part, man, I'm really interested in, like, I love seeing all you guys work the freaking automatic tools, dude. It's super awesome, man. It looks The uniformity is like what I like, you know.
Yeah, and I think that is what it kind of gets to. Like, you'll be a couple of months running the tools, and then you'll find what's comfortable for you, what works, what settings work for you, like that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
It's all pretty much the same, but once you get the mud on the wall consistent, then your brain like clicks over to like, I need to make it super uniform. And it's so unnecessary because it doesn't matter. It's all sanding time is basically what that comes down to, right? Like,
Yeah.
when you see Brad's work, it is like flawless. And when you talk to him, he's like, he'll sand 10,000 board feet in a day. He'll come back for touch ups, and but there's fucking next to nothing, right? Because he's laying it on so crisp. It's it's pretty wild, man. The more you learn, the more you figure out you don't know, I guess, is a good way of looking at it. I uh I got good with those flushers last year, and then you talk to people, and they're like, removing wheels from some of them and like doing this and doing that, and there's always just new shit to try. So it's fun.
Yeah,
Uh
in every industry I've been in, every tool has like a little trick you could do to it to make it work a little bit better.
yeah, totally.
Yeah.
So do you do a lot of woodworking? Like you said, a carpenters union.
Yeah, no, I was a hanger. So I got
Oh
on
yeah.
because I was in the welding industry before. I was building like off-road metal fabrication, roll cages and
Nice.
stuff like that. And they needed welders in the carpenters union for their metal stud framing. And I just kind of fell into the group of with the drywallers as well.
Okay.
But I actually used to look at the tapers all the time, bro. When I was hanging that rock and I was miserable, I was looking at the tapers all the time, like, dude, I wish we're getting the paid the same thing. I wish I had their job, man.
No
And
shit.
now I'm kind of thankful that I learned to hang
Yeah.
because now I could do it myself and I could be picky. So I do pretty much I hang and tape and flow.
Yeah. That's the way to do it. In my perfect world, I frame as well. So like if I take on a basement that's got no walls on it, I'm so happy. Because
Oh,
when you frame and then board your framing and then tape your fucking boarded framing, everything is perfect.
I
But it's the same thing. If you're boarding and then taping it, you're gonna make sure that you hang that properly. You're gonna make sure there's like no fucking butt joints, at least minimal butt joints.
yeah.
And then, that makes your work better.
Yeah, definitely. Like our other project we have going on right now. It's one of them little, those like entertainment walls people are building.
Yeah.
I framed it out 2 feet, and it's about 83 inches across the room. So I built some shelving inside of it. We're gonna put an electric fireplace, and we've
Hmm.
got all the wires ran ourselves, and then all the cables we're doing, and we're gonna recess everything to the wall so you're not gonna see none of that. And then
Brilliant.
we're actually making the mantle right now on my deck.
What are you using, epoxy or wood?
Now we're just using some regular pine.
Oh,
I'm
nice. Yeah.
I'm I'm boxing it up, trying to make it. I looked for like, I was looking in the pile for like the most grainy, like barn style look, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
we're gonna stain it a dark brown, and we're gonna install that above the electric fireplace. So it's gonna be pretty cool, man. This one is actually I'm loving it because they let me do a level 5 on that portion, and the rest of the house is orange peel. So it's gonna
Oh,
go from orange peel into just that wall, level 5. and it's cool because it's like an accent wall, anyways. So I think it's gonna pop, man.
We did one of those last year where it was like a big punch out for a TV, and then underneath was a fireplace, and then we did bulkheads around the room, and then so you just had two picture frames, and then did like a stone tile
Oh
in the recess, and it looked fucking dope.
yeah, we're level
Um,
fiving it, and we put the no coat. We did the no coat for the shelving,
yep,
and we did all the drywall inside, and we did no coat around the corner beads, and then around the actual corner beads of the entire wall, we used Trim Tex 90 degree.
nice.
Yeah,
How do you like that? The plastic?
I like that stuff a lot, dude.
Oh yeah.
I love it actually because Trim Tex has a lot of like cool little attachments too. Like
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to bullnose, like they have little that little two-way piece or the three-way piece that you could put in the windows, and
Yeah.
you line them up. You don't got to cope them out too much, and it makes life way better, man.
Oh yeah, and everything's perfect. Like when you're trying to round a corner and there's just a piece that you put in there, you're like, "Oh, this is fucking perfect." I
We don't have to put no caulking.
no. I remember the first time that I ever saw bullnose, I went to help a buddy of mine because he'd never done it before and I was just kind of getting into Instagram. So he tells me to come over and I didn't know that there was that coping piece where like
Yeah,
you put it and then you cut it through. So I had to figure out how to cut them both to make them line up. It took me forever. But
yeah,
and then I gave him like two pieces that were effectively what this thing was at the store for $1 he could have fucking bought that I didn't know about.
yeah.
But it was awesome. Once I walked away from that going, I'm never doing that again. That was ridiculous. And
Mm,
then the next time I looked at it, you saw the attachments and you saw the things to help you cut it, and I was like, oh, that'd be a lot of fun.
yeah.
Yeah.
After,
Albuquerque's got a lot of bullnose bead, like down New Mexico way.
yeah, Texas and New Mexico have very similar type of builds.
Nice. Yeah, okay.
Like, but in that aspect, like they both have texture, and they
Mm-hmm.
kind of have a lot of bull nose and different stuff like that. But I've been lucky that shoot today we got hooked up, man.
Yeah, I saw that.
Trimtex has been we've been using their products a lot, so I sent them a email, and they actually called me, and it was pretty cool. He's like, "Hey man, like the pictures, just send me your address and I'll hook your company up." So today at the door, I was expecting him to send me like two shirts or something for myself,
Yeah.
but he like three mediums, three larges, three extra larges, and like he hooked it up, man. And here they are here.
Nice. Oh, I like that. Drywall ain't finished without us. Yeah.
It's pretty cool, man.
And
I
then
like
what's on the front just says trim tags?
Printex.
Yeah. You know, I really like when companies do that with the high vis. Like, I like getting giveaway shirts that I can wear outside of the house. That's where I wear a lot of them. But the ones that
Yeah.
you get that are like high vis, like if you're working commercial, you have to wear that shit every day. So when it's just
Oh, yeah.
your t-shirt that somebody gave you, that's pretty dope.
Yeah, and then you don't have to wear those damn vests.
Oh, I hated those things, man. Yeah.
They're ridiculous.
Yeah.
But let's see. What else? What else have I see? I'm pretty new into the finishing world, so I'm trying to think of what questions have I been needing to get from.
Oh yeah, that'd be fun. Yeah. If you could think of stuff, that'd be great. I I think I'm wondering what the mud consistency difference would be doing hand finishing all the time to coming to the machines. I imagine it's probably pretty close. Like, because you want it nice and malleable, right?
Yeah, enough, but I don't want it too sloppy either because it's all over the
Hmm. Yeah.
because I had that issue a few times already when people mix my buckets for me, and I go to get some out of their bucket, and I'm like, dude, this is like soup.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
oh,
when you run the auto taper, it is like soup. Like it's just like clam chowder. Like that's the thickness of it, and it runs like a fucking dream. You'd never believe it, but yeah, it's I always worry that there's too much water in it, and it turns out mint every time. It's shocking.
yeah. With all this new stuff, there's a lot of texture down here too. So
Mhm.
I've been spraying with the hopper at like entire houses and stuff, and my shoulders are done, bro.
Oh, because it's fucking probably super heavy.
Yeah, it's super heavy, and I always have to have a compressor, and I always have a line behind me. So I tried out one of these texture sprayers recently, finally, and I was like, man, I got the house done in 2 days, and that was my
Oh
first time
wow.
doing it. I said that's not too bad for my first time doing it, and it was 2 days of like 4 hours a day. Yeah, it
Sounds
wasn't 2 whole days.
that sounds pretty dope. So what do you rent? Do you rent the sprayer or what do you do?
This time I rented it, but I'm gonna buy one probably within the
Yeah.
next month or so because there's so much texture down here in Texas. I'm the one from Los Angeles that's trying to convince people to go with level 5
Oh
because
yeah.
I love smooth finish.
You should talk to Nick, man. People are spraying Fresco for
Really?
sure. Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He's got a sand packet that he's come out with now where you put it in and it gives you that texture if you were just troweling it on. But yeah, people are spraying the Fresco already. They're doing whole houses in the shit for, double your hang cost or double your finishing cost. I think it's like $3 or something. And there's a lot of money to be made off a couple of bucks a square foot again. And then you don't have to sand, you know, it's a good little deal he's got going.
That's pretty cool.
Um
You can find that market here.
yeah,
There's
man, it's we're kind of creating that market up here now because nobody's really ever done it. Like we've got places here in Southern Ontario that do like Venetian plaster, but I think it's like $25 a square foot or something stupid. Yeah, and the buckets are $400. So like if you don't know what you're doing, you're about to waste everybody's money. So they've got courses you can take to go and do it, but like when you walk in with a bucket of Fresco Harmonies, fucking $50, and that's like with the sealer and everything you need, you know?
yeah.
So it's a little crazy.
And you
I
know what I could see that matched with is like I could see that matched with the floors and epoxy to match it.
yeah.
So you have like that one wall to the floors going that wall, and then you could do the other walls a different color, look at like a tunnel or something. That'd be kind of cool.
I got a low walkway here into the like my apartment's like a giant hall. It's like a bowling alley. So the roof of that is it's all old shitty popcorn. And I'm looking to do it all in like a light blue
Mm,
and then come back in and swirl like some white into it so it looks like a sky, you know?
that'd be pretty
I
cool.
think it's gonna look dope, man. Yeah. It's I did it this stuff's super addicting though. Like it Nick even said you're gonna give a couple of walls away for free just to do them, and then people will start to get excited. Like same with this. There's no way I ever thought this would have turned out as good as it did. And when I post when this sets up, I got this it's a gold sealer instead of a transparent sealer. So when there's like big ridges or little scratches, it packs up in there. When it dries, it's like a gold color and it looks like veining in the wall. It's fucking nuts.
Oh man,
Yeah.
I seen that recently on one of my buddi's houses here, and I couldn't like figure out how they did that shit. I was like, dude, how in the hell does somebody get that effect onto the wall?
It's pretty dope, man. And it's not hard, like I think Foz and I maybe spent 3 hours on this wall and I don't remember what we said it was. However many square feet. It wasn't very much, man. Same with this backsplash. We did that and kicked ass. But you could do the whole floor of a house. And by the time that floor is done, you're ready to skim again. It
Yeah.
dries so quick. I don't know why it dries so quick, but it's yeah, it's good stuff, man.
Is it kind of
So
like, have you ever used like real dirty water and put it and mixed it in your bucket, and then all of a sudden you're like, why is my shit hard? Why
yeah,
is my mud rocking up? Yeah,
yeah,
I've had that before. Where some of the guys like, I always tell them, man, clean it, keep an actual clean bucket when you're mixing the mud. 'Cause don't try and pull from the when you're washing from.
yeah, your shit bucket. No.
It's gonna mess the entire bucket up.
If I've got a place to dump my buckets, like in like if I was doing residential or something where you could just like throw it out the back door,
Yeah,
you should have a clean bucket, a bucket that everything sits in, and then like your wash bucket. Like I'll typically have 4 or 5 buckets. Two will have mud and the rest will have water, and then I just cycle them through. Like the dirty one gets dumped and that's the new fresh one, and you just kind of cycle them every day.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a fucking mess when I'm taping. 100%.
Yeah,
I just I just take over the whole place.
yeah, definitely. I was scraping for the past 2 days.
Yeah.
I've been scraping them floors for the past 2 days, to be honest. And it gave me some muscle, bro.
Oh yeah. It gives you a bigger appreciation for taking 5 minutes at the end of the day and just scrape the floors.
Yeah,
Or
definitely.
you're not on your hands and knees for fucking 2 days cleaning the floors.
My guys
Yeah.
trip out sometimes because I'll be right there scraping the floors for them. But I'm like, nah, you guys keep working. Come on.
Yep.
I'll scrape the floors for you. Don't
Keep
worry about
keep
that.
bringing that money in. Yeah.
Yeah. But right now I'm trying to get this team together.
Mm-hmm.
My cousin just moved over here to San Antonio with me to try and knuckle down and get stuff together, and it's been
Yeah.
working out, man, because I've actually had a partner till when I go home, like we stay till 11 o'clock at night. He's like, well, I ain't leaving you. All the other guys leave
Yeah.
5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and he's like, I ain't leaving you, bro. Come on, let's do this.
My cousin was the same way. When it was time to like when it was go time, he was there. He's like, let's just put the fucking 3 days in and not make it a week, and
Yeah.
just attack, attack, attack. Just try and make sure that you're eating all right, and then
Hmm.
you'll keep that energy level up.
Yeah, I had actually I met somebody off TikTok actually, and he happened to be here in San Antonio. His name's Mario Resendez. Uh, he actually helped me out on this past project, and he was the one that brought his taping tools,
Perfect.
and he saved my ass, man. To say the least, he saved my ass, and the 3 weeks was actually good timing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's, it was good on. I went through guys quitting in the middle of the project.
Oh, that's
Uh,
the worst. It's like,
was it went from about 4 guys down to just myself, and I was working the job by myself for about 3 days, and then finally got some help. It was
yeah,
fun.
those 3 days are very humbling.
Yes.
Yeah. You're like, fuck, fuck, fuck.
Man, I I haven't had a good night's sleep like last night in so long because
I bet.
I knew the builder wasn't gonna be calling me at 8 in the morning. So I was like, yes, I am good today.
Yeah,
But
and then sleep those whole days. You got to sometimes after you've like hustled, you have to give yourself a full day recharge, like mentally, physically, just stay in bed, you
yeah,
know? And like when I go through something like that, I don't set my alarm the next morning and I just wake up. And sometimes it's fucking noon. Like when I got back from Vegas, I went to bed at 8 o'clock or something like that, and I woke up at like 12:30 the next morning, like the next in the afternoon. It was like 14 or 16 hours or something stupid, but I obviously needed it, because
you
we
definitely
didn't get
did.
we didn't get much sleep.
Yeah, I remember my Vegas days too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we went down to Fremont and I was like, I just feel so at home in this shithole. I love it.
It was some awesome times for me too, man. I would took it overboard plenty of times, but now that's kind of why I kind of like spaz out on finishing now,
Hmm.
because I am clean and sober now.
Yep.
So what I'm drinking right here is just Monster.
Oh, good for you. Yeah.
I got
Monster at fucking 7 o'clock.
yeah.
It
I got
says,
I got four daughters that are little still, so
oh yeah,
once they get off of school, I still got to give them a little bit of time and attention, you know what I mean?
I do. I do. Yeah. Yeah.
I
Oh
like
man.
that I liked what you guys did on that podcast with Drywall Shorty, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
She's great.
mentor people. I'm really big on that,
Yeah.
teaching history and mentoring people.
Yeah. That's, I want to talk to you about that in the next part here. Yeah, because you got into it. You got into that this year too, didn't you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
quite a
So,
bit.
well, why don't we do that? We'll take a break and we'll be right back.